Terrace. Hey, everybody. Sorry about the late start today. Take some deep breaths together. So, my intention today is to show up as an authentic person, being, leader, and just be really honest with you that I'm having a hard day. I'm having a real tender day. And I've been learning about authentic relating. That's why I was gone in Costa Rica. And I got to see people in leadership positions showing emotion and not hiding it and not putting on a mask. And so while I don't want to be collapsed and I don't intend on being in a space where you need to care for me or anything like that, but I want to show up as the full real me today. And the full real me is struggling today. I am feeling a lot of grief about my daughter and caught in a bit of a mind loop about her and what's going on between us. And that's real. And I imagine you can all relate to that. So I'm hoping that me showing up and being real encourages you to be real and to know that we can still be strong and vulnerable at the same time. And that's what I'm really trying to step into in my own life, to not hide these parts away of myself. Because they're part of why I can have so much compassion for other people. So, with that, let's drop into meditation. And I'll hold myself with compassion. And I'd invite you, wherever you're at, if you're in a place of sadness or grief or fear or joy, you don't always have to be in shadow or darkness. That's not the idea. But the idea is that when we are, that we meet it, not by hiding it from people or shaming ourselves, but that we meet ourselves with deep compassion. So that's what I'm practicing for myself today. And I would so love for you to practice deep compassion for yourself, wherever you're at, whatever you're going through. So, yeah, let's just begin with some deep breaths. And if you're in a space where you can make a sound on the out breath, ah, ah, ah. Invite you to be in whatever position feels most comforting, most nurturing to you today. Want to lay down, go ahead. Sitting up, standing, legs up the wall, whatever you need. And then, whatever your preference is, either eyes closed or eyes just gently downcast, softened. Start to just become aware of your sense of your body right now. Noticing what is alive in my body right now. I'm noticing a little bit of shakiness in my chest. My hands are cold. Feeling my butt on my cushion. So what's alive in your body? Feeling in. Seeing if you can welcome whatever's here in your body today. If it's discomfort or pain, I'd invite you to imagine that you can breathe into that part of your body, giving it more space. There's a tendency to kind of contract around pain. So, seeing if you can breathe into a place of contraction or pain, not with the intention of fixing or making it go away, but with the intention perhaps of witnessing, being with, loving this part of you. And then, even considering, maybe even asking your body, are there parts of you that want my touch, that want a hand or a hand? Listening to what your body's needing right now. Maybe even if it needs a little movement, seeing what would feel comforting, what would feel good, what would help you land more fully in the now, what would help you feel more safe in this moment. Can wrap your arms around yourself in a hug, your hand on your face. Or maybe your body doesn't want touch right now. It's all okay, it's all welcome. Seeing if you can also connect to the breath in the body, the movement of air going in and out. I invite you to first notice how your breath is. Is it shallow or deep? Can you barely notice it? And then I'd invite you, for a bit at least, to intentionally breathe very deeply into your belly, allowing the belly to be soft, allowing the belly to expand with each in breath, soften with each out breath, being with the body and the breath. Bringing awareness to areas of, if there are areas of holding, clenching, or tightness or resistance. And first, just noticing, bringing awareness, noticing if any judgments, stories arise. And then offering, if you'd like, the invitation to the body and to those parts to soften with the out breath, to release, knowing that the body has its own wisdom, its own time, and that it may not take you up on the invitation. So there's no command or forcing. It's just an invitation. And you can even, if this resonates with you, you can even invite the word soften as you breathe out and notice maybe your jaw or your shoulders or your pelvis, wherever. Inviting the softening of the resistance or clenching. May help to breathe deeply in through the nose and out through the mouth. If there is softening happening, clenching, releasing. Also noticing areas perhaps where your body feels pleasant, if that's occurring, or neutrality, lack of sensation. breathing into whatever's here. Noticing if the mind is running a story, noticing thoughts, judgments, perceptions, and seeing if you can make space for the thoughts, seeing if you can allow even the thoughts to be here. We have this tendency in meditation to believe that thoughts are bad. We have to empty our minds. So often I and so many people I know get in this battle with their own mind. See if you can just soften that bit, lean back a bit metaphorically, maybe just for this little bit, maybe believe your thoughts a little bit less, allowing them to be there, but holding them maybe a little more loosely, allowing them to move through while you stay connected to your body and your breath, using the breath perhaps as an anchor to the present moment. And if you get swept away by a thought train, story, there's no need for judgment or harshness. If that arises, you can notice that too. But seeing if you can really have compassion with your mind as well. If it's running a story, it's most likely that there's something there, there's something that may be needing some attention. Usually emotions. Oftentimes when my mind is running a story repeatedly, whether it be something that's self-critical or self-judging or even just worry, there is something underneath that story. So if you're having that today, if you're having like a repetitive story, seeing if you can gently, repeatedly release the story Just kind of like seeing it. Oh, there's the story again. Not that it's wrong, not that it's bad, but just there it is again. And then maybe asking the body to show you, are there emotions underneath the thoughts? What am I feeling? And seeing if you can just, with great gentleness, that's the key, great gentleness, great compassion. See if you can breathe into whatever emotions are here today. So we have to be careful, and I know this from experience, that just exposing ourselves to raw emotion without compassion is just traumatic. And then we just numb out because it's too much and it's too painful. So if you've got emotion here today, and maybe you don't, maybe it's just kind of a neutral day, then just staying with your breath. But if emotion is present, if story is present and emotion is on, feeling into that in the body, what does the emotion feel like in the body? And that's how we are able to move things through energetically, is by being with the sensations, with nurturing. So taking your most compassionate, your most nurturing self and bringing it to this moment, to this emotion, even if it's something you would normally push away, like shame or anger or jealousy, seeing if you can find a little bit more space within yourself to even allow this to be here, because we all have anger, jealousy, fear, these emotions that we tend to push away. We all have them. And when we don't let them move through, they get stuck. And then the mind comes up with all sorts of things to try to get us to pay attention. So there's an invitation to really feel things in the body today, and to use your hands and your movement and your body, and maybe a memory of a nurturing or loving being or a protective being to help you, to support you. Or maybe the idea that we are all in this together, going through our own experience as humans, souls in bodies, but we are all experiencing being here right now, and we are doing it together. Listening to your body about what it needs today, moving if you need to, lying down, crying, yelling, really inviting the body to express what it needs to express. Comforting as you need to, wrapping a blanket, having a comforting object or a pet. Allowing what is here to be alive. Treating yourself with the compassion that you would offer someone you really love. You deserve this. You need this. We all do. Maybe it helps you to imagine that you are breathing in love and compassion into your very heart. And you are breathing out love and compassion for yourself, for everyone in this circle today, and for all beings without having to do anything. It's just happening. So as you breathe in, it's not just your own love and compassion that you're breathing in, it's you're breathing in what everyone else is breathing out, love and compassion, meeting your sweet, gentle heart wherever she is at today. Calling on all your resources to bring in more and more compassion for yourself, more and more understanding. No matter what you've done, no matter what story you have of I did this wrong or that wrong, it doesn't matter. We can make mistakes. That's what humans do. We make mistakes out of our own suffering, but we need our own compassion. So, calling in any beings who have ever offered you love or compassion that you want to imagine here with you now, animals, people, spiritual figures, nature, trees, smells, whatever you need. And breathing it all in. The breath can carry the love. The breath is connected to source and the oneness. You are not alone. You belong. Separateness is an illusion. You are connected to source. Breathe it in. It is you. You are enough. You're more than enough. And this oneness, this love, it can hold everything. Everything is welcome. Everything is allowed. All of you is welcome. If there's a part of you that is really needing to hear something compassionate from your higher self, your soul, the divine, whatever word you want to use for your connection to something larger than you in this body. If there's a longing to hear something, oftentimes we look to our partners, our friends, our family to hear these things when in fact it's our own self that we are longing to hear this from. Might sound like you belong or I love you or I'm here, I'm listening to you. I would invite you just to feel into what you're longing to hear from others. And then just experimenting with inwardly, or if you're in a space, you can say it out loud, outwardly saying these words to yourself, hearing yourself say the words you're longing to hear, perhaps from another, giving yourself the gift of exactly what you're needing. If that doesn't resonate, then just releasing it and staying with your breath. And then I would invite you, if you want, if it feels right, if it resonates, and if it doesn't, release it. But if it resonates, to hold in this last minute when we do our aums together, when we tone together, to hold the awareness of the places in the world that are really in severe strife right now, like the Ukraine, to hold the people that are in the shoes of victim and in the shoes of perpetrator, to recognize that we have all these parts within us. We have the parts that aggress, and we have the parts that are victimized. We have hate in us, and we have love. We have pain, and we have joy. This is all part of the human experience. So see if you can open your heart to all the beings in the areas of the world that are suffering on both sides, and the beings that are not suffering in this moment, As you and we send out love and compassion to all beings in the universe. We'll breathe in together, and on the out breath, it'll be ah, ooh, mm. Breathing in, ah, feel the vibration in your body. Ah, ah. May the fruits of our practice today spread outwards in all directions, inward and outward. No separation, releasing the illusion of separateness, releasing the idea of good and bad, welcoming in all parts of ourselves and all parts of others so that we may be free. May we dedicate this meditation to the freedom of all beings, and bow deeply to each one of you for showing up today, for planting and growing and watering the seeds of compassion in yourself. It's the way, by welcoming in these parts of ourselves, by welcoming these shadow parts, these parts we've disallowed. We have less and less judgment towards others. We have more and more love, more and compassion. And we're free. We're more and more free. And that's what I want. I want to be free. So thanks for doing the practice together in this circle. So much gratitude to be in this community with you.